The Witcher 3 makers CD Projekt have quickly become one of the industry's favourite companies. And now everybody is eagerly anticipating their next project, CyberPunk 2077, which they've remained quite secretive about. But the head of CD Projekt recently took part in an interview, and for some people, he might have set some alarm bells ringing.
In an interview with Polish investment site Strefa Inwestorów, CD Projekt CEO Adam Kaczynski talked about the company's success and their plans for the future. The interview began with some questions about CD Projekt as a studio and publisher and what makes their games so beloved by fans. Kaczynski said CD Projekt put creativity and ambition before profit when making their games, which they believe is what makes them so special. The CEO also said their games are successful because they don't try to make annual franchises, which Kaczynski believes will result in a lower quality product because it won't have enough development time. Kaczynski revealed The Witcher 3's success had increased the value of CD Projekt shares by 1,000%, and the studio now has around 600 million Polish zloty in the bank, which is about $167 million, for future development. The interview then moved on to discuss CyberPunk 2077, where Kaczynski revealed some rather interesting details about the upcoming game.
According to Kaczynski, CyberPunk 2077 will be an improvement on The Witcher 3 in every way, and CD Projekt are investing much more time and resources into CyberPunk than they have done for any of their previous games. However, here's the catch. Because of this increased investment, Kaczynski also says CD Projekt's sales expectations are much higher and CyberPunk will be more commercially focused than The Witcher was.
Ah, here we go.
Didn't he just say that it wasn't commercially focused? Didn't he say that if their focus was on like action and stuff, but now they're focusing on money?
That's really funny that they've gone, we've increased our profits by 1,000% by doing this certain thing, this certain way. And we believe in that certain way. In the future, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to be more commercially focused.
The rot's beginning to set in. Kaczynski said, quote, "We want to experiment in new fields that were not yet explored in The Witcher. I can't say much about Cyberpunk, although our ambitions are set really high because that is our style of work. We want to go even higher, and especially seeing as we're having a business chat, we're interested in Cyberpunk being commercially even more significant. To make Cyberpunk more commercial, Kaczynski said it will have some kind of seamless multiplayer functionality. He said, quote, online is necessary or even recommended if you wish to achieve a long-term success. At some point, we have mentioned that there will be a certain online element related to Cyberpunk." Again, this is them talking about integrating multiplayer and having it a seamless multiplayer and doing something to achieve long-term success, whereas they already achieved that in The Witcher 3 without all that bullshit. It's like they're trying to fix a problem that they didn't have to begin with. They want long-term success, but they already achieved that. The Witcher, just do what you did with The Witcher 3. Everything was fine with that. Everyone loves The Witcher 3. Loads of people are still buying The Witcher 3 because of how good it was, not because it had seamless multiplayer. What gives? What's the problem?
We should point out that he hasn't gone, oh, we're going to put microtransactions and loot boxes in this game, but the kind of words that they use are the kind of words that EA uses. It's like monetizing it in the future, making it more commercially viable, that kind of stuff. I mean, it was in an interview with an investment magazine or whatever, but still, we're not used to hearing CD Projekt saying those kind of things. We're used to hearing them saying what he's been saying there, you know, talking about it not doing annual releases because they want quality over quantity, and generally all-round consumer-friendly, ethical business practices that we all love. That's why we love them, and you know, because we like their games as well. It doesn't make you go, oh my god, they're sellouts and they're going to ruin the next game. It just kind of makes you feel, hang on a minute. What are you saying there? What are you talking about there? It just kind of pricks your ears up a little bit and gives you a horrible feeling in your belly.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about CD Projekt and The Witcher and Cyberpunk, and you mentioned EA. I just sick a little bit in my mouth. It's just like,
sorry about that. Towards the end of the interview, Kaczynski was asked about CD Projekt's free-to-play card game Gwent, and he revealed some interesting details about the development of that game. Kaczynski said Gwent, which is in open beta, is designed as a service which is meant to make a profit first and foremost and provide a stable source of income for the studio. He said the development of Gwent is being used as an exercise for the company to learn how games as a service work and how these services are implemented into multiplayer games.
You were the chosen one.
It's hard to hear that. I won't lie.
I think I need a tissue.
Yeah. And a sick bucket from earlier as well. Kaczynski also said he expects the service elements of Gwent to go live sometime next year in conjunction with a big marketing push for the game. The CEO also said Gwent will not be the only Witcher-related game, and the company will return to the world someday, but whatever it ends up being, it will definitely not be The Witcher 4. As the interview came to an end, Kaczynski was eager to stress the fact that CD Projekt will always remain an ambitious, consumer-friendly studio who are always on the lookout for the next groundbreaking project. We just thought we'd put this in front of you because how many times on this channel have we stood here and told you about how amazing CD Projekt are and how great the ethics are as a company and how consumer friendly they are. Well, this just shows at the very least that they are still a company and they are very interested in making money, and clearly they're looking at how how swimmingly everything's going for EA at the moment. They're going, oh, we want some of that. EA's making a load of money, a load of good headlines over there, EA, we'll have some of that. What are you doing?
It's clear that they're looking to expand their operations, they're looking to get bigger and better all the time. The problem is when they start talking about it as a business and about making money and all those dirty words that we associate with companies like EA and Activision and all that. Games as a service, it's like, oh, do you really have to do this, CD Projekt? You were doing so well up until now. Now I just feel sick. Now I'm just not hopeful at all about Cyberpunk 2077. We've talked about criticisms in the past about people saying it's a bad company to work for, and we were like dismissing it, or maybe it's just like people being, and it's just like, I mean, do we want to defend you anymore when you're saying the wrong things? Don't do this to us. That was very dramatic, but it needed saying. You were lost in the whole Fez.
Yeah. You swept me away there. Took me to another. Like, wow, what a performance. Bottom line for me is, don't do interviews with investors magazines. If you need to do investor calls, if that's how things are done on Wall Street, don't do it. It's not worth it. Everything that you say in those meetings and in these interviews, and anytime you speak to an investor or some kind of magazine who's aimed at like the business community rather than the gaming community, you come off looking very bad to the gaming community. And even if what you're saying isn't that bad, you still get like negative headlines and a bit of shock culture in gaming. It's not worth it. Don't do interviews with business magazines. Honestly, it's bad for the company.
They thought they'd gone away with it. He did it in Polish.
Advice.
He did it in Polish. They thought he'd gone away with it. But our Liam sat through the whole thing and read the whole transcript.
Liam.
You can't hide anything from our Liam. He's onto you. He's onto you.
And talking about saying things that you absolutely shouldn't, let's take a look at some of your comments. First up on last week's Sunday show, Jez says, I'll give you a like if Gareth gets punched in the nuts during your next video.
I feel sad and sick already during this video. I do not need a punch in the nuts right now.
As well. Not just a punch anywhere, it's like in the nuts.
It was Ronda Rousey, wasn't it? It's like,
well, that was hilarious, obviously. So
yeah, let's go for it. I mean, I'm all for the comedy factor.
Yeah, you can't replicate genius. I think something that funny, you just can't pull it off twice.
Don't talk about my nuts and then pulling it off twice.
Oh, hell.
Commenting on the Battlefront 2's loot box grind video, the first one from the week, which was
one
first
of
of many. Setsume Ikari comments, Jake wasn't born, he was knitted.
Obviously, I feel bad laughing. It's the first time I've heard that, that's why I laughed so much. Jake's not here, I don't like laughing at people when they're not here. But
come for the video, stay for the jumper comments. Jake looks like he's about to praise a shit modern piece of art, says Larderai.
I thought it was a nice jumper.
Guy on the left is looking spiffy today. These are all Jake's comments about his jumper. Hipster Steve Jobs, comments Samir Hussein. The f wearing, Jake? You look like you look like your French twin.
That's not how twins work.
Did you watch the video, Mike?
Yeah.
You saw his jumper.
It's a lovely jumper. That's not how twins work. You're just both, you know, one's born in France, one's born in Wales or Poland. I don't know.
This is my favourite. Cropper the Brit comments. Honestly, after watching this video, I don't think I'm ever going to buy an EA game ever again, or a turtleneck. I mean, sound advice there. I think those are the two takeaways from that video. That's for sure.
And commenting on our Bethesda kind of little news roundup thing, Sneaky says, Jake is my favourite munchkin on YouTube. Please don't ever get rid of him. Love heart. I don't know what a munchkin is, but he's, you know, he's a good lad. There's got to be a lot of munchkins on this website, and Jake's your favourite, and that's lovely.
Depends on your definition of munchkin, Mike. You don't want to be
a munchkin, but
I was going to say you don't want to be, you know, something you might call, I don't know, just think of it in derogatory terms. What can, never mind.
Insult. Yeah. I haven't got one.
Next up on our Battlegrounds video, Lars2Lars9Lars comments, sorry man, but Breath of the Wild is the game of the year. PUBG should win best on lane category, by the way. That's exactly what I'd expect, somebody choosing Breath of the Wild as game of the year, and he can't even spell online.
And also commenting on our Bethesda mini roundup thing, YouTube sucks, says, surprised they're not putting loot boxes in Skyrim. Oh, shut up, shut up.
Exactly what you want to be saying, just leave that out because...
Delete that comment if you wouldn't mind.
So I obviously feel sick and upset about this news. How do you feel about what we've just told you? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here, check out another one of our videos there, support us on Patreon if you're awesome. We'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.